Hello friends, I am back again with a unique and mystery movie whose name you can see on the screen. This movie is made in the Telugu language and people have given it an IMDb rating of 8.7. So friends, without any delay, let's begin today's explanation. But before moving ahead, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. On social media saying, if you want your desires to be fulfilled, come and meet me. All your wishes will be granted here. After this, the scene shifts and we see a man named Surya wearing a mask and entering a bank to rob it. The watchman pulls out a gun and starts firing at him. But shockingly, two more partners of Surya were already inside the bank. One boy and one girl. Now the three of them fight the guard, fill the bag with money and run away from the bank. Meanwhile, we see that another girl is also part of this robbery, giving them instructions from a distant location. So altogether there are four people, Surya, that boy and two girls. In the next scene, a policeman comes to meet a man in a library and this man is actually the same person who gave the advertisement. This policeman had also come because of some desire he wanted to be fulfilled. Earlier, when he first came, this man had told him, first you must beat up someone. So when the policeman learned that some people were protesting somewhere, he went there during the protest and beat one man badly. But still his wish was not fulfilled. So he returned to ask why. Here we learn the man's name is Nobody. We will call him Nobody because the movie is named after him. Nobody asked the policeman, did blood come out of the man you beat? The policeman replies no, because after one slap he ran away. So I could not hit him more. Hearing this, Nobody says that won't work. You must beat someone so badly that they feel pain and bleed. Only then can your wish come true. He adds, actually I had given you a very small task because you were supposed to beat someone properly. But you failed the first time. Next time beat someone properly. The policeman warns him. Fine, I will beat someone properly this time, but if my wish is still not fulfilled, I will put you in jail. Saying this, he leaves. After some time, an old man named Gunjan comes to meet Nobody. Nobody tells him, if you want your wish to be fulfilled, you must do something wrong with a girl. Gunjan gets shocked and says, my family is very respected in society. I cannot do such a things. Nobody tells him, for you, this is the task. You must rape a girl you know. Only then all the property in your family will become yours. Gunjan actually wanted all his siblings' property. In the end, he says, okay, I will think about it. The next scene shows a famous tea shop in Hyderabad where we meet Amol, who makes tea that everyone loves. But in a closed room, Amol is doing black magic using Sunny Leone's photo because he is her crazy fan, actually a total creep. He does all sort of rituals to get her. During this, he also sees that same advertisement which promises to fulfill desires and then he decides to meet Nobody. Then in the next scene, we see a lady named Lakshmi who comes to that library to meet Nobody. Here literally everyone is coming only to meet this Nobody. Well, this woman had seen that ad on social media and came here. First she tells him her problem that she and her husband had a love marriage. Also her husband was a teacher. But 2 months ago he died. So now her children don't care of her. Now she says to Nobody, sir, I want my husband to come back and I want to get my respect back. So can you bring my dead husband back? So Nobody says, yes I can. But first you will have to do a task because your wish is basically a wish to make the impossible true possible. That is why you must go to a crowded place and place a bomb. Here this Lakshmi gets shocked, but then Nobody says approximately 25 people should die from that bomb. Only then your wish will be fulfilled. But Lakshmi refuses and says, no sir, I cannot do such a thing, tell me some other way. Then Nobody says, madam, think about yourself, not about others, because in this world if you become selfish, only then your work gets done. People who always think about others never move ahead. The rest, you think about it. Now hearing this, Lakshmi remembers her flashback when her husband was alive. He asked her, if something happens to me, how will you live your life? So Lakshmi had said, just like Savitri fought Yama and brought her back husband. In the same way, if it were me, I would directly beat Yama and bring you back. Thinking all this in the present, Lakshmi tells Nobody, okay, I am ready to ready to do this work. Then a little while later, we see Amol Kumar coming to meet Nobody and saying, "Sir, I saw your ad. So do you fulfill everyone's wishes?" So Nobody says, "Yes, I do. But what is your wish?" Then Amol shows him a photo of Sunny Leone and says, "I want to spend one night with her." So Nobody asks, "Is she your wife?" Amol says, "I wish she was. My life would have been perfect. But actually, she is married. And as I said, I want to spend one night with her." Now Nobody says, "What kind of wish is this? What will you even achieve by spending one night with her? And if you want to, then go directly and ask her, 'Can I stay in your house for one night?'" Hearing this, Amol says, "Brother, understand my feelings. What I want to say and what you are understanding are two different things. In which era are you living?" Then Nobody understands what he means and asks, "Amol, first tell me what is your favorite thing?" Amol says, "Sunny Leone." Then Nobody says, "Okay, if you want this wish fulfilled, then you must complete a task. For that, you must stop working at the tea hotel where you work." Hearing this, Amol says, "Sir, that is how I earn my living. If I stop my job, how will I manage? What kind of task is this?" Then Nobody says, "Stopping the job is not the main task. It is just a small warm up. So first stop the job. I will tell you the real task later. Think properly whether you want to do the task or not, and whether you want Sunny Leone or not." So Amol leaves saying he will think about it. Well, now in the next scene we see Vipra, a big businessman. His manager comes and says, "Sir, your son's startup has again made a loss of 25 crores. If this continues, the main company may also go into loss." So Vipra says, "He is still a child. He will learn from his mistakes, and money, if it goes from here, it will come from somewhere else." Then the manager says, "Sir, a man named Mohan Rao has been sending us emails for several days. Actually, he wants funds to build a reading room in his area." So Vipra says, "Okay, delete his email." Then the manager says, "Sir, it would be good if we give him rupees 1 lakh. But Vipra slaps his manager and says, "Don't give me suggestions. Do you even know how long it took me to reach this position? I cannot waste money on useless things through donations." Now the scene shifts, and on the other side, a girl named Anu comes to Nobody and says, "Oh man, you did not even put a board. It took me half an hour to find your address. Actually, I am an air hostess, and after seeing your ad on social media, I came here." She further says, "Since childhood, I believe in fasting, temples and all that." So Nobody stops her and asks, "That's fine, Anu, but why did you come here? What is your wish?" So Anu says, "Where I work, there is a girl named Abhya, and she is more beautiful than me. So I want to become more beautiful than her, and that too permanently." Then Nobody says, "Anuji, you are also so beautiful. Maybe you asked for wrong wish." So Anu says, "Sir, I am a girl. No matter how beautiful God makes us, we still feel it's less." Then Nobody asks, "But why only compare with Abhya? There must be other girls too." Anu replies, "Sir, it's human nature. If Ambani gets 100 crore extra, why would we care? But if our neighbor wins a lottery, we get jealous, right? So in my surroundings, Abhya is there. That's why I want to be more talented and more beautiful than her." Now Nobody says, "Okay, but you will have to complete a task, that too within a week. And for that you will have to throw acid on Abhya's face." Hearing this, Anu is shocked and says, "What kind of task is this? I never even thought of such a thing." Then Nobody says, "Now think about it. You have plenty of time." So she says, "Okay, I will think and tell you." And she leaves. Then the scene comes back to that thief Surya, who this time wears a mask and blasts the ATM machine with a small bomb and runs away after stealing all the money. Meanwhile, the police try to catch him, but still he fights them and escapes. On the other side, that big businessman Vipra comes to meet Nobody today and says, "I saw your ad in a magazine. I am the number of one businessman in my area. So my wish is that the coming generation should also be like me." So Nobody says, "You are rich, so your generations will also be rich. What kind of wish is this?" Then Vipra tells his parents' story, that they had a love marriage. After that they left the village and moved to Bihar. There his father worked day and night and became very rich. But because of his habit of donating money, one day he suffered a huge loss, and in that tension he died. Then we see that his mother took him back to the village where his elder brother lived. Now his mother did small jobs to raise Vipra and pay for his studies, while the villagers kept taunting them. Then one day his mother said, "Son, study well and earn money. Only then will you regain your respect." In this way, Vipra says in the present, "Today I have everything, so I want that the coming generation should not live a humiliating life, because this world is very selfish. So tell me, can you fulfill my wish?" Nobody says, "Yes, but for that you will have to complete a task." Vipra says, "Okay, tell me what I have to do." So Nobody asks, "What are your likes and dislikes?" Vipra says, "I love my family and I hate my village." So Nobody says, "Alright, then for 1 week, leave your family and live in that village, and whatever you do during that time, keep informing me. Hearing this, Vipra becomes angry and says, no, I can never do such a thing. So nobody sends him away, saying, then your wish will not be fulfilled, you may leave. A little while later, Lakshmi comes to nobody and says, sir, I bought that bomb, but I don't understand how to trust you. Will you really fulfill my wish? So nobody says, Lakshmi, as I had told you, after buying the bomb, you book 2 train tickets, one for you and one for your husband. Right now, both tickets are with you, and keep them with you. I promise your husband will return soon. Hearing this, Lakshmi trusts him and asks, what should I do with this bomb now? Nobody says, now find a nice suitable place and fit it there. After Lakshmi leaves, that old man Gunjan comes to nobody and says, sir, I am now ready to do the wrong act with the girl. After Gunjan leaves, a mole comes and says, bro, I quit my job like you told me. Now tell me my real task quickly. Then nobody tells him that hotel where you worked, you must now sell adult toys in front of it. So in this way, to get Sunny Leone, a mole agrees to do this work and leaves. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see the city commissioner scolding all the police officers, saying, a thief is robbing banks in broad daylight, but what are you people doing? Why can't you catch him? We see that the police officer who had gone to nobody is also present there. Then all the policemen say to the commissioner, sir, the thieves have not left any clue. They seem very professional because they know everything about banks, and by observing those things, they execute the robberies. Then that police officer says, sir, I am checking the CCTV of the entire area, so if I find any lead, I will inform you immediately. On the other side, we see that the 4 thieves are enjoying a luxurious life with the stolen money, and during this we are shown a flashback where there were only 3 thieves, but one day a girl joined the group and the team leader Sudha fell in love with her. After that, the 4 of them together started doing small thefts. Then slowly they began robbing banks. Now, in the present, Anu returns to nobody and says, till now I have done prayers and rituals for my wish, but you are completely opposite. Are you a devil that you are telling me to do such things? Nobody says, no, I am worse than that. But Anu says, whatever you are, I came to tell you that I have bought the acid bottle, so at the right time I will throw it on Abhya's face. But until the task is completed, can you give me a little glow? Nobody says, no, I cannot give you glow, but I will tell you a secret. Actually, Abhya got the job because of you, but you trained her. After that, with her talent, she moved ahead and won awards. But the truth is, you are not jealous of her beauty. You love a guy named Rajiv, but that Rajiv loves Abhya. That is why you want to remove Abhya from your path to get Rajiv. Hearing all this, Anu gets shocked and asks, how do you know all this? Were you following me, or did you send someone to keep an eye on me? Nobody says, I never do such useless work, so finish your task immediately, because after that both Beauty and Rajiv will be yours. On the other side, we see that the board members come to Vipra and say, sir, please don't mind, but because of your son, the company is suffering losses. You built this company with so much hard work, but if this continues, we will have to shut it down. Hearing this, Vipra becomes a little worried and says, okay, I'll think about it. Meanwhile, that police officer returns to nobody and says, I did exactly what you asked today. I beat up a man so badly that blood came out of his mouth, and he was screaming in pain. Now tell me, when will my wish be fulfilled? Now we learn that the police officer's wish was about a treasure he had been searching for many years. But at that very moment, the thief named Sudha calls him and says, I found information about the treasure, so come meet me quickly. Hearing this, the police officer gets shocked, and right then nobody tells him, see, you completed the task, so your wish is fulfilled too. Now go and get the treasure quickly. After this, once the police officer leaves, Vipra comes there and tells nobody, I am ready to complete the task you gave me because after seeing my son's behavior, I feel he will blow away the entire property in this lifetime itself. So nobody says, okay then, first go to the village, live there for 1 week and give me daily updates about everything happening there. Then the scene shifts to the police officer who goes into a forest with a map, searching for the treasure because Surya told him it was hidden somewhere inside the forest. After wandering for a long time, he finally finds a secret cave and inside it, he finds the treasure. But then we see that his partner steals the treasure and runs away. The officer, upset, returns to nobody and says, I found the treasure, but my partner ran away with it. So quickly tell me his address. I will go and take my share right now. Nobody smiles and asks, who was the partner who went with you? The officer says, why do you care? That's not important. Just give me his address. But nobody again asks, tell me who was he? And shockingly, we learn that his partner was actually his own son, and that son was none other than the thief Surya. Perhaps nobody already knew this. That's why he says, wow, the son is a thief and the father is a cop. Yet the son tricked his own father and escaped. Then he continues, whatever it is, you now have asked for a new wish, which means you need to do a new task. Tell me, did you have a crush in school or college? The officer says, yes, in college I had a crush. So nobody says, then arrest that crush on a false prostitution case. Hearing this, the officer says, have you lost your mind? She is a collector and her husband is the commissioner. If I even touch her, I will lose my job and go to jail as well. Nobody replies, I don't care about all that. You just do the task if you want your wish to be fulfilled. The officer says, leave it. I'll find my son myself. Don't know how I got involved with a madman like you. Saying this, he leaves. Then we see Lakshmi coming to nobody and saying, sir, I found the spot. But nobody says, no, not there. Not enough people will be present. Do one thing, fix the bomb at the famous tea shop in Hyderabad. A lot of people go there, so at least 25 people will die and their bodies will get blown into pieces. But hurry, you only have 3 days left for this task. Later, the old man Gunjan comes to nobody and says, sir, I found the girl. Nobody asks, who is the girl? Gunjan says, she is my best friend's daughter-in-law and her name is Radhika. Recently, she and her husband had a love marriage and she considers me like her father. She trusts me blindly. Also, she is mentally a bit disturbed, so when I do something wrong with her, she won't tell anyone. I will do it in 2 days and after that, you will have to fulfill my wish. After he leaves, Anu comes to nobody and says, sir, I have made all the plans. I stole someone's phone and used it to follow Avya on Instagram. Whatever she posts, I write bad comments on it so that when I throw acid on her face, no one will suspect me. I have planned everything beforehand. Then Amol Kumar comes to nobody and says, I started selling toys exactly as you asked, but instead people started beating me. Recently, a police officer beat me up very badly. Here we learn that it was the same police officer who comes to nobody. Now, Amol says, I tried a lot, but I haven't sold even one toy. So please give me another idea to sell these or give me another task instead. Nobody says, then do one thing, go to the red light area and sell the toys to the workers there. They will definitely buy them. So Amol understands and decides to try this idea. After this, Vipra comes to nobody and says, I went to the village, like you said, but the first night was very difficult. No fresh air, too many mosquitoes, but still I somehow adjusted. The next day I met my best friend Mahesh. After many years we talked a lot and many old memories came back. Then he took me to a wedding, but I did not eat anything there. After returning home, the villagers came and started asking me for help. Someone needed a job, someone's house was broken, someone's road was damaged, and I got very irritated. Meanwhile, we see that the police officers are checking CCTV footage and they find a clue. They see the thief without a mask and he is none other than Surya. Seeing his son, the police officer is shocked and realizes nobody was right. The thief was actually helping him finding the treasure, and in the end he took it and ran. And then thief was his own son, Surya. He then sadly tells the other officer, this footage is useless, delete it. It's of no use. Then he remembers his flashback. When Surya was a child, the father stole small amounts of money using thieves and fulfilled Surya's every wish. But when the father stopped giving him money, Surya himself turned into a thief. And one day he said, Papa, we should search for that treasure people talk about. So the police officer went to nobody only to fulfill his son's wish. But in the end, after finding the treasure, Surya betrayed him. In the present, the police officer again goes to nobody and says, you were right, my son is that thief. Now please find him and tell me where he is. Nobody again repeats the same task. Arrest your crush in a false prostitution case. That is your task. Then we see Lakshmi come again and say, sir, I went to the tea shop to place the bomb, but I couldn't do it. Some people were celebrating birthdays, some were on their first dates, some were meeting old friends. I could not do it. Nobody says, Lakshmi, I told you before, not to think about others. Think only about yourself. Be selfish and kill them all. After Lakshmi leaves, finally the thief Surya himself comes to nobody. And here we get the first big twist of the movie. Surya says, sir, I did everything you said. On the first day, I sent acid to the girl. On the second day, I dropped that woman at the hotel, but you still have not given me my main task. Nobody ask, first tell me, why do you want to separate from your father? Surya says, when I was a kid, my parent divorced. After the court order, I stayed some days with my father and some with my mother. But my father's love was always fake. The anger he had for my mother, he slowly built that anger for me too. So I want him either to treat me well or we both should separate completely. Nobody says, okay, I will fulfill your wish, but now it's time for your main task. You will commit another robbery without wearing a mask. And here comes the second twist. We find out that the old man Gunjan's daughter is none other than Abga, the same girl Anu is planning to throw acid on. Abga calls her father and says, Papa, I got a promotion. Hearing this, Gunjan becomes very happy. The next day, Vipra comes to Nobody and says, yesterday, my friend and I went to the house of the girl I loved during school days. She loved me too. The reason I loved her so much was because I was poor and she was very rich. So I thought if I marry her, my financial situation would improve. But then I got very good marks in college and the village head saw my talent and married his daughter to me, who was even richer than the girl I liked. Then in the present, Amol Kumar comes to Nobody and says, bro, your idea worked. I sold many toys. Now I will complete my task before time ends. But remember what I said. On the other side, Surya goes to his friends and says that they will do the next robbery without mask. But here, his three partners betray him. They run away with all the treasure and money that Surya had. And here, another truth is revealed. Those people already knew that Surya's father was a police officer. That's why all three of them had made a plan to include Surya in their gang. This means that the girl involved with him was already connected with his partners. They included Surya only because with his father being in the police, they would be safe in the future. Another shocking thing that was Surya's girlfriend did not love him at all. It was all an act. So when Surya talked about doing a robbery without mask, the three got scared and their faces would be revealed. So they ran away with the money. Now Surya goes to the Nobody and says, Sir, give me a new task. I will complete it. But first tell me where those three are. So now Nobody gives him a new task. After this, the scene shifts 1 week later from where the climax of the movie begins. First, Amol Kumar arrives sadly at Nobody's place. He says, last night I went to sell those adult toys in the red light area. But there I saw a woman. From far she looked familiar. When I went closer, I was shocked. It was my mother. Amol continues sadly, I never knew my mother did this work, but the fault is mine. I never paid attention to her. When I was young, my father passed away. Maybe for my sake she chose this path. Until today, I always saw girls with a lust. But today, after seeing my mother in that field, the ground slipped from under my feet. That's why from today, I will never look at any girl with such eyes. Instead, I will protect girls who are alone. After Amol leaves, Gunjan arrives sadly and says, yesterday I called Radhika to my resort and even mixed sleeping pills in the milk. But before she could drink it, she got a call that her father had passed away. So I myself dropped her home and stayed until her father's funeral. Hearing this, Nobody asks, how did you feel after watching the funeral? Gunjan replies, that's what I came to tell you. Radhika's father was 55-year-old, but when he died, no one was calling him by his name or relation. Everyone was calling him the body. Now think, I am also this old. How many years will I live? What's the use of such property then? No sir, I don't want property anymore. I just want to stay happy with my family. After this, Vipra comes sadly and says, yesterday I went to my friend's house because there was a small function. His wife had cooked a lot of food, but I could not eat because I have sugar, BP and digestion's problem. Seeing this, my friend's daughter said, Uncle, my father is better than you because even with so much money, you can't eat anything. Her words opened my eyes. For years, I worked hard to gain wealth and fame, but I filled my body with disease. I became arrogant and treated no one properly. But today, a little girl's one sentence burned my ego to ashes. After Vipra leaves, the inspector arrives and tells Nobody I had decided that I would arrest my crush. But when I went near her house, she was bringing her son back from the hospital. I asked her what happened and she said her son is a drug addict and he had tried to kill himself. Hearing this, I realized that parents must take care of their children. Because of my anger, I left my wife and never cared about my son, and he turned into a thief. But I won't let that happen anymore. Now I will take care of my son. Suddenly the scene shifts. We see Lakshmi, who had come to plant a bomb at the hotel. But the hotel owner recognizes her and says, Ma'am, did you recognize me? I used to come to your house for tuition in childhood. Because of you, my mathematics improved and my father made me handle accounts in the hotel. And today, I have opened my own hotel. Hearing this, Lakshmi remembers her husband's words. Even if loved ones are not around, do not work they loved, and they will always stay with you. So Lakshmi, goes to nobody and says, I have found the right path. Now I will build a reading room for kids, which was my husband's lifelong wish. Finally, Anu comes to nobody and says, yesterday during the company program a story was telecasted. In that story a crow was decorated with rewards, but still all animals ignored him. Just like that, I realized every person has a talent, even I do, but I forgot mine. Even though I was the one who trained Abha, yet I became jealous of her. She recently lost her father and I felt her pain. Then I imagined myself in her place. So now I have changed my plan. I will work on myself and improve my character. So friends, we saw that Amol conquered his lust, the police officer conquered his anger, Gunjan conquered his greed for property, Lakshmi conquered the pain of losing her husband, Vipra conquered his ego, and finally Anu controlled her jealousy. And they all overcame their inner demons. With this message, the movie ends here. But how did you like this movie? Do tell me in the comments. Also share this movie with your friends and like this video. And if you are new, then subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so you don't miss any video. Bye bye.